Discuss more, we're joined now by Melody Sucharewicz, an expert in German-Israeli relations and former foreign affairs advisor and international spokesperson for Israel's ex-minister of defense, Benny Gantz. Melody, great to have you with us on the Rundown this evening. Thank you.
Hi, good evening.
Well, I want to begin with asking how major this counterterrorism and cyber defense cooperation between the two countries is. What does this really signify?
It's truly a historic agreement. I think the Prime Minister said so in his remarks yesterday next to Minister Dobrindt. And why is it historic? Because it comes at a very crucial time and in a very crucial, let's say, revelation. What we're looking at is really a new quality of cooperation between two strategic allies who've cooperated. Of course, we know that on all levels, including security and cyber defense. But this really brings the cyber defense and security cooperation to a quality that we haven't seen before. And that includes a joint research center. It includes protection for pretty much everything from the small SME all the way to critical infrastructure. And this is, especially for Germany right now, not just a nice to have, but a major strategic necessity. Only several days ago, we saw an arson attack by a leftist extremist organization disrupting Berlin's energy infrastructure, electricity infrastructure. So for 4 days, around 100,000 Germans in midst of Berlin's cold winter, and believe me, it is cold. I arrived this morning. Without any energy, without heating. And that was kind of a low-tech leftist extremist organization. So just imagine what state actors could potentially do. So this is certainly mutually beneficial, but when it comes to expertise, transfer of technology and expertise, certainly also something that reminds us once and again how Europe and how also Germany benefit from Israel's achievements in this field.
Well, this is also all on the back of Israel Aerospace Industries announcing once again a $3.1 billion contract expanding Germany's Arrow 3 missile defense system. So does that also tie into this expanding of strategic and defense ties between the two countries?
Absolutely. Same again. It completes these agreements. They fulfill a major strategic necessity. Germany found itself without any adequate aerial defense systems following the Russian invasion of Ukraine and turned to Israel, just like now it turns to Israel for help when it comes to improving the cybersecurity. And there's a lot of synergy potential. This goes both ways. But for example, when you look at the cyber defense agreement that was signed now, it involves the establishment of a new specialized police unit in Germany, which will be fully equipped by Israeli technology and by Israel support. And just like with the Arrow 3, it not only reminds us that the strategic partnership between Israel and Europe is more important today than it ever has been before, but it also reminds us how really irrational the giving in, the capitulation in front of the propaganda, call it the TikTok propaganda we saw during the Gaza war, has been for Europe, which we have seen in a couple of European states. So here, Germany really is taking a leadership role. Minister Dobrindt, who I met several minutes after he signed that agreement, he expressed again how important it was for Germany to now make a stance to show, knowing how difficult the dynamics in Europe are, to show that Germany not just stands by the side of Israel out of solidarity, but out of strategic own interest. And the fact that the Prime Minister himself signed this agreement with the Minister of Interior was also a very strong symbol of appreciation to a minister who was one of the first one coming to Israel after the Gaza war, visiting the kibbutzim, coming after the Iranian attacks on houses in Bat Yam, sitting in the ruins with Minister Sar, and then coming after the Iran war also to initiate the Cyber Dome agreement to remind Europe that Europe needs Israel and that this is the way to go to the future. So I think we have a lot of reasons to be happy about this agreement.
Certainly a lot of reasons for Israel and for Germany, but what you just mentioned here, the broader implications for other European partners. Could this pact serve as a model for even future security cooperation with the EU?
Absolutely, but this is why Germany's leadership role play such an important example right now, because there are several European countries that are currently disrupting arms deliveries and even just the logistical, the supply chain when it comes to defense exports, security exports by Israel, because of what I mentioned before, the capitulation in light of an absolutely irrational, extremist-driven propaganda campaign against Israel. So those European leaders and countries are actually permitting mechanisms that are down the road harming their own strategic national interests in order to appease extremist and anti-democratic forces, which is a major threat really also for the democratic fabrics of their society, because those anti-democratic forces feel more empowered. We're seeing the attacks growing. We're seeing them becoming more and more violent and self-confident, and that truly is a problem. So I think Europe, many of the European leaders will look at this agreement and will think twice and three times whether it is the right time now to revamp security cooperation with Israel.
All right. Well, let's certainly hope this could provide a future for not only Israel and Germany, but as you're mentioning, some of these other European partners as well. Melody Sucharewicz, great to have you with us on The Rundown as always. Enjoy your time in Germany. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.